Today on EA Sports. It's week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Cleveland Browns taking on the Tennessee Titans.
We are just off the shores of Lake Erie in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, as we get set for football here at the always rockin' Cleveland Browns Stadium. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Tennessee Titans taking on the Cleveland Browns. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And trotting out there, a guy who's established himself as a veteran in this league, now in his 5th year at quarterback.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And his throw here's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. You talk about this Titan defense. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the number 1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Browns set and ready to go on offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Now he'll take a shot for Peoples-Jones. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Now a 2nd and 10. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Handoff comes to Chubb. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. The Browns at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution,
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Titans are going to get it back here just past the 35. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff?
Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. And he's had his struggles here early with a run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Now Chubb. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Rolling, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter. They begin this drive with Chubb. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 32-yard line. On the ground, it's Chubb. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. High throw, but the catch is made. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
The Browns needed a true #1 receiver when they dealt for Cooper, and he took on that role immediately. Over 1,100 yards and a career-best 9 touchdowns in 2022. Their now established top target picks up a first down.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. That escapes the sack. Flushed it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. I think this crowd not really sure what to do. And they'll begin by running the option. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Colts who have the lead in the second quarter. Jonathan Taylor with a touchdown run. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Tyreek Hill, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Desmond Ridder with a couple of touchdown passes. In our game has been Ryan Tannehill, who's had the hot hand in the first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So that a free 15 yards.
And it's always a tough one as a defender because a lot of the penalties that you commit, pass interference, holding, when they happen, you actually know what you're doing. But a face mask penalty, a lot of times is inadvertent, but it still costs you the same amount of yardage.
85 yards rushing now for Chubb and a first down as well. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Oh, look at that. What a catch by Moore. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 19. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter, and the entire fourth remaining, so stranger things have happened.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 9 now. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting...
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Danico Autry drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Put Autry anywhere along the line, and he'll produce for you. At least 7.5 sacks in 4 of his last 5 seasons with the Colts and Titans.
And the Browns getting set to go. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. And again, it's Chubb. Gets around him. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. 2nd and 3. Bell brings it in across the formation. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 12-yard line. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield. Yeah. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look. Another opportunity now for the Browns offense. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quick. They go up the middle with Chubb. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 141 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Chubb trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Second and goal from the 1. They'll give it to Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Browns have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So that now 6 touchdowns for him on the ground here so far this year, Charles. And it's week 3. What kind of a season might he be embarking on?
Well, we both know it helps to have fresh legs early. And they're going to ride him a lot as this year goes on. But one other thing to keep in mind, as you keep having success, you actually have built up some momentum. Your body responds to that as well. So I see no reason for this to slow down anytime soon.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll roll him out right. Spinning away. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along.
Cleveland offense making their way out. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. Gets through, and now an opening. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Donovan Peoples-Jones. His 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Browns are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
This was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the 2nd half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Tennessee, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, They suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next.
Today, it's the National Football League. It's week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Cleveland Browns taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
From just off the shores of Lake Erie, EA Sports brings you coverage of the NFL from Cleveland Browns Stadium in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. And a look here at their signal caller, the 5th-year quarterback.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Gets past one man. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. He was creeping up toward 200 yards. Thought he was going to get there. Didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Up the middle, it's Chubb. Pushes past him. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. A give running right is Chubb. So they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Flush to his right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On play action, they'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
When you look at this defense, they are the 22nd ranked unit against the run in the NFL.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they are facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
That 3rd down conversion good for 23. Six-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. Flushed out right. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. And now the Browns coming out on the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't give points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession. Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. They run it again with Chubb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Felton, he'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got his receiver, Cooper. Touchdown, Browns. Cooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Browns have cut it back within a score. Great corner route there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
It's the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit. They have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now Chubb running right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down. A give. This is Chubb. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd down. Here's Chubb again. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 81 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Browns have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. A big opportunity to tie it with 3 or take the lead with a touchdown. Their defense definitely did their part with that pivotal 4th down stop. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills.
Oweh, one of the most gifted athletes coming off the edge in AFC. The key for him, translating that athletic ability into consistent production. Hasn't quite unlocked it all yet. Only 3 sacks last season, but the potential is immense.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. So now the Browns down by 10, just under 2 minutes to go. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was one they needed to connect on. They're down, but not quite out. So you have to figure, with under 2 minutes to play, they need to hit on something in very short order.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely four-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So it's a win here for the Ravens, and it was just too much Lamar Jackson. He really played well.
Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, didn't he? He had 2 touchdown passes through the air, another one on the ground. And that defense, they really had no answer for many of their drives.
So for the Ravens, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6.